Okay. All right. All right. Let's get it. Welcome. Welcome. Back again, once again, time and time again, my friends. And yes, you know what it is over here. Live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, in between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what we do is just hit the market with just a little prediction of the directions of where I anticipate the market going to over the next few days, just giving you a little idea on the direction that you may see overall, just throughout the majors, mostly on the US dollar. And then we touch on Bitcoin as well. Just go ahead and make sure you are subscribed so you can tune into this content whenever I do go live. Make sure you press the little bell button, that way you get notified. But other than that, we're just gonna hop right into it. You know how we start. We start on XAU USD on the monthly time frame. On the monthly, we are starting to push up. Remember, we still have 2 days before this candle closes, which it is more than likely going to close bullish as it is. Then you might want to see more continuation to go ahead and retest some of this area right in here. So we could see potential moves up to the upside for maybe some more pushes on this market. But if we do look at the weekly time frame, you can see we started the rejection of this previous structure resistance that is acting and did act as support. Currently now, over these last few days, we are starting to make our way back down. Now, if we look at it on the daily time frame, we were starting to get the perfect rejection off this previous structure resistance, now turned support. Starting to see the market move up. I was able to get in on this market, but I have since been stopped out, break even. Just the rules of the strategy potentially keep me out of bad trades or trades that will not go in my favor. If you would like access to that, go ahead and click the link in the description. It'll take you right over to my course where you can get full access to my trading strategies and all the rules and stipulations that go behind them. There are multiple strategies in there, so I do think it is good value for any trader at any level. But we're moving right along on the daily time frame. We do have a nice and easy move up, coming back to retest previous structure, using that structure as the opposite, continuing to the upside where we did come into an area where we did find some resistance. So we could see a little range starting to form right in this area in between these two levels. We like to see it break out to either side before looking for potential moves on this market, because this has acted as support once before. More than likely, if it gets retested, it will act as support once again, and vice versa over here on this previous structure resistance made. If we do look at XAG USD on the monthly time frame as well, are starting to see moves to the upside as well, starting the retracement on the monthly time frame. If we look at the weekly, you can see we are starting to consolidate right in this area as well on the weekly. And then if we do look at the daily time frame, once again, these pairs are correlated, so they will be showing some of the same things, whether they're correlated, or they will be showing the opposite if they are negatively correlated. So keep that in mind as well with the USD pair in it. We did come into a level of previous structure resistance, broken to the upside, immediately broken back down into, then we came back and retested that area as previous structure resistance, now acting as resistance once again with the push to the downside. A nice head and shoulders pattern on this market. Would like to see more continuation to the downside just from a daily time frame perspective. If we do drop to XBT USD on the monthly time frame, once again pushing to the upside, starting to show a little bit of retracement as these months start to come into the end. If we do look at the weekly time frame though, we can see we're starting to get a nice and easy move to the upside. Came back for the retracement, retesting right at previous structure resistance that should act as support once broken to the upside. And we are starting to see the moves to the upside on the weekly, just not ideal type of candles. Now, if we drop to the daily, you can see that we've had this level marked out as where you'd like to see the market break above before looking for buys, and you can see that this level is holding. So as long as the market is below this level, you can continue to see moves to the downside, obviously, and once we get the break above, there's a high likelihood that the market will continue to the upside once this level is retested for the continuation. Now, if we hop to US oil on the monthly time frame, simply put, we've had previous structure right in this area, did act as support over on here. We came into this level and found not just one but two rejections and started to make the move to the downside, and we are starting to give a little bit of retracement as this month comes to an end. On the weekly time frame, you can see we did make a lower low coming down in here, but we did not close below the level, sitting right at these lows right around in here. We did find some resistance of this support, so of more continuation to the downside. We could see this level come back and retest some of this area right in here. And if we do look at the daily time frame, you can see that we are still bearish just by a daily time frame perspective, where we would like to see some of these levels broken to the upside before the market starts to give us the indication that it wants to continue for the retracement, just on a weekly time frame perspective. Now we can hop right along to the Forex market, where we have been speaking about Euro USD. We did make a move to the upside, came in and retested previous structure support, now acting as resistance, and we are starting to see the pullback from this area. On the weekly though, you can see we are starting to form some sort of consolidation, as we do have some previous structure right in here with this candle that is not of the same color. Once broken to the downside, you can expect more bearishness from a weekly time frame perspective. But if we do look at the daily time frame, what we can notice is that we do have a level of support right in here, where we have an inverted head and shoulders that could possibly provide more continuation to the upside. But either way, we did have these levels drawn out from the previous stream, that you like to see the market break above some of these levels, come back for a retest, and then continue to the upside from these levels, and we did not get that. Got a little bit of a fake out, so we could possibly see more moves back down to retest some of these levels just from a daily time frame perspective. GBP USD monthly time frame pushing to the upside, retesting previous structure support, now acting as previous structure support, now acting as resistance. On the weekly time frame though, you can see we found this level right in here that you would like to see the market come into and start to break below before looking for possible moves to the downside, as that level could reject. And if we look at the daily time frame, you can see we still have the impulse to the upside with this retracement coming right into previous structure resistance that should act as support. So you want to see a few of these levels broken to the downside before you start to look for possible moves and continuations, but there is a high likelihood that we could get a retest back down in here. AUD USD monthly time frame pushing to the upside, retesting previous structure support, now acting as resistance. Weekly time frame pushing to the downside as well. Daily time frame double top. After that, you like to see the neckline broken for a retest to come back in. If we do get that, we could possibly see some major form of a head and shoulders pattern, something like that. USD CAD, on USD CAD, starting to see the rejection of previous structure resistance, now acting as support on the monthly time frame. On the weekly though, we are starting to break above some previous structure resistance that should act as support once broken to the upside. Now, if we look at the daily time frame, you can see that we've had this level drawn out right around in here as previous structure support that acted as resistance, broken back down to the downside. Now we're starting to explode to the upside. If we do start to get some possible continuation to the upside, higher highs and higher lows, could expect the market to either make a higher high of the overall structure, which would be ideal. NZD USD monthly time frame, previous structure support, now acting as resistance. Weekly time frame starting to push to the downside. We do have a level right in here that you like to see the market kind of break and close below. And if we do look at the daily time frame, you can see we're starting to get this head and shoulders pattern starting to form nicely if the market wants to continue to the downside. Once rejecting these levels right in here, we did not get a strong break above most of these levels on this. That's why we're not looking for the continuation to the upside like we anticipated, but that's why we don't go off just hopes. We really don't anticipate to the market. We react and we did not get the setup that we like. So this obviously changes every single day. You need to adapt to the market. Oops. But we can go over USD CHF. And on USD CHF, we are starting to reject some of these levels right in here, as it is previous structure resistance over here. Support broken to the upside, came back, retested as support once again. There could be a possible, pointed it out, left shoulder head, right shoulder forming on the monthly time frame, which could take a while to develop. But on the weekly time frame, you can see we're still trapped in between these levels right in here that we've previously identified. And if we drop to the daily time frame, you can see there's a double bottom forming in this area. You would still like to see the market break above some of these daily resistance levels right in here before looking for more continuations to the upside of the overall structure. Then last of the Forex market is USD JPY. USD JPY still retesting previous structure resistance, just sitting in that area. We are starting to see a little rejection of that area, but it'd be interesting to see what happens over the next 2 days as well. On the weekly, we are starting to push down, and if we do get a strong push to the downside, this could set up nicely for even a weekly TMCP. And then on the daily time frame, we are starting to get some levels of support found right in here, but the market is kind of consolidating at these lows. There could be a possibility it rejects some of these lows and moves to the upside, but we could see the break below. Like to see a nice and strong break and close below this level and then come back for a retest. Then we can move over to Bitcoin, BTC, USD. Simply put, previous structure resistance now acting as support, all in this area. Market is still dipping down in this area, but we are starting to see a little pullback. We tried to dip down below a little earlier, started to get rejected from this weekly candle, as we are still consolidating in this range. But if we look at the daily time frame, we did have the push up where the market looked like it could potentially make its way to the upside, but that is exactly why I said if you are in, go ahead and go break even. You don't want to just close out because the market is coming back towards your entry. The market could do some crazy things, which if most of you were in, you should be in up in here, still in the trade, still looking for continuation to the downside, and that's what we've gotten over the last few days on Bitcoin as well. So looking for more continuation to the downside on that, and potential directions the market may head over the next few days. So with that said, I hope you're having a profitable day on and off the charts. And until next time.